Dateline Washington, Tuesday, 15 April. The fake city government in our nation's capital announced the beginning of their alleged annual spring cleaning initiative this week, the news of which might come as a shock to people who regularly visit the city and think it looks pretty grimy and filthy the whole year round. Fake Mayor Muriel Bowser, having just emerged from a lengthy period in hiding while recovering from the terrible indignity of Trump forcing her to erase the big Black Lives Matter letters that she ordered festooned upon the ground of the 800 block of 16th Avenue back during the summer of love in 2020. But my favorite part of that story, that was when a kid got arrested and charged with an actual hate crime for doing donuts in that intersection and thus desecrating the fake mayor's graffiti that she put on the ground. Because that's where we are in America in the third decade of the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. We only focus on the important things that really matter. I mean, I can picture giving the kid a ticket for reckless driving, being kind of a dickhead, but they didn't care about any of that. The fake city government of Washington decided that the only perceived offense they cared about here was that they characterized leaving a tire mark on top of the word black as an act of intolerable race hatred that has to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I mean, it's basically the same thing as slavery when you get right down to it. And here's the part where I state for the 10th or the 20th time, my vision for the future of the District of Columbia. It should be depopulated of permanent residents, just like the Gaza Strip should be, and it should be transformed into a nice museum city and an America-themed park. The kind of place that average American parents would never have to think twice about taking their kids to. The kind of place Disneyland used to be, before they charged you $150 a head just for your daughter to get groomed by a fat, bearded transvestite as soon as she gets in the door. Our founders never viewed the District of Columbia as a traditional city that lots of people would live in, and it never was that, not for the first 80 or so years at least. It only became that when the city had to be garrisoned during the Civil War. The War of Dastardly Yankee Aggression. When, as a practical matter, Washington City, as it was called in those days, was a territorial exclave of the United States. Virginia was in full rebellion on one side, and on the other side, sure, Maryland never actually seceded from the Union, but it was a slave state, and there was no shortage of rebel sympathizers there, even actual rebels. But the fact that Washington ever gained a sizable permanent population is still, right up to the present day, a weird vestige of the war between the states, and one that we ought to fix. The first step should be getting rid of the fake city government and returning, in principle and in practice, to direct federal administration. And let's stop pretending Washington will ever be a state. It's gonna be America Disneyland, brought to you by Trump Resorts Incorporated, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And we will build the Trump Monument on the site where the Hoover Building once stood, because fuck you, Edgar.